this question is very much focused on sources of energy. Describe in detail how the wind is caused by the sun. So the sun is our starting point. Now we have 4 marks for this, so we're looking for 4 distinct ideas. So first of all, let's start with the sun. The sun's radiation, or the sun's heat, causes the air to heat. Hot air rises and causes a convection current. When this hot air rises, cold air comes in to replace it. And that cold air, replacing the hot air that has risen away, is wind. So the replacement air is what we feel as wind. Now, where do the 4 marks come from then? Well, first of all, starting with the sun's heat, then heating the air. That's 2 marks already. The hot air rising and causing a convection current is your 3rd mark, and the replacement air being identified as wind is the 4th mark. You must then link it to wind. So the link is from sun at the start to wind at the end, and you get your 4 marks in between. If you don't then actually say that the replacement air is wind, expect to get 3 marks out of the 4 there. Next part then. Explain why wind is a renewable energy source. 2 different approaches to this. Because it's generated by the sun's energy will never run out. That makes it renewable. So that's the first idea. Or, the one that we would perhaps be more familiar with or think of first, is that the wind's energy can be used over and over again. So it can be used repeatedly, which makes it renewable. Either idea will get you the 1 mark. Now again, we have another question here. Describe the formation for a fossil fuel, making clear how its energy comes from the sun. So again, this idea of linking the sun's energy into the fossil fuel has come up again this year. So the sun's energy, that's our starting point, is absorbed by plants due to photosynthesis. Plant remains become coal, which is a fossil fuel. Due to high pressure over thousands of years. Now again, there's 4 marks there, which is a considerable number of marks for that. First of all, the first mark comes from the fact that you're linking directly to the sun's energy. So the sun's energy is absorbed by plants due to photosynthesis. That's your first mark. The second mark then is talking about the plant's remains become coal due to high pressure. And the fact that that takes place over thousands of years is your 4th mark. So it's a very long process. So initially the sun's energy is absorbed by the plants due to photosynthesis. The plant's remains then become coal due to high pressure over thousands of years. You could also refer to plants being eaten by animals and the animal remains becoming the fossil fuel again over thousands of years. That's also acceptable. Why are fossil fuels not regarded as renewable energy sources? The standard answer that automatically comes to mind here is that they cannot be replaced within a lifetime. That should be your standard answer. In this paper in the mark scheme, it identified that they would accept that the reserves are finite. They would also accept that they are used up more quickly than they are replaced. However, I would recommend the best answer is that they cannot be replaced within a lifetime. It will always be the standard answer for that question every year. Part B. What is the meaning of the statement that a gas-fired power station is 45% efficient? Well, let's remember how we work out efficiency. Efficiency is the useful output energy divided by the total input energy. So what does 45% efficient mean then? We must apply it to the statement. It means that 45% of the input energy is converted to useful energy. In this case, the useful energy is electrical energy, as it is an electrical power station. So 45% of the input energy is converted to electrical energy. That's quite a low figure, but that would be standard for power stations. The other 55% energy, most of it is lost as heat and also as sound. And when I say lost, I mean that energy cannot be harnessed or made useful. Part 2. What are the input and output energy forms in a gas-fired power station? The input energy is the gas itself. What kind of energy is it? It's chemical. So chemical is the input, and the output, well, it's a power station. So your output energy is electrical. And you must have both of those correct to get that 1 mark. Now, an application for generating electricity for home use. Photocells use sunlight to generate electricity for home use. However, they have only produced efficiencies of about 10%, which is even lower than the gas-fired power station. Give 2 reasons why a homeowner might consider installing such photocells to provide electricity for his home rather than relying upon gas-fired power stations that are 45% efficient. Well, first of all, as a homeowner myself, the first thing that comes to mind is that once you've installed the photocell, solar energy is free. So rather than paying an electricity bill, I've been able to harness the solar energy, which is free, solar energy. The second idea is possibly the solar energy does not produce greenhouse gases, so we're protecting the environment. Or doesn't contribute to global warming is another way of saying that. You could, linked back to the solar energy is free idea, you could say that gas is becoming more expensive. Or also, a fourth idea is that the gas may run out. The sun's energy won't. Any 2 of those will get you the 2 marks. So if you have any of 2 of those in your answer, you would earn the 2 marks.